Hey everybody, I'm Anaris. It is Tuesday, and today's game is going to feature EtdJBaker, call him Baker, and CellaWeRRa. Everybody loves him. I'm sure you've all seen his live stream. If not, you should have seen his live stream because it's just that awesome. Anyways, like I said, I'm Anaris, and this is going to be a Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 matchup on Shakuras Plateau. It has been a very exciting week so far. Wrap up from MLG Dallas weekend. Tons of good replays floating around on the inner tubes, should you decide to watch them. And as far as this particular game goes, this is not from MLG, by the way. We have an OKGG from CellaWeRRa as his pylon does go down just beside his Nexus. And over here for Baker, his own pylon. God, this is like the exact same position almost. Wonder if they're map hacking. No, I know they're not, but that's okay because CellaWeRRa is now chrono boosting out his probes. I think in the earlier game I said chrono boosting out pylons. I guess that's just how cool Protoss is. They can chrono boost pylons. Meanwhile, we have Blue Scout getting ready to head over towards what looks like the correct position to scout in, which is the northeast. The gateway just went down. CellaWeRRa's own probe is heading out of his base as we speak, probably to scout the exact same position as he's getting ready to see the blue probe give high five to the red probe and heads right over to the western side of the map. And over here we're seeing he is currently at 14 supply. There goes the refinery assimilator, and here comes the Blue Scout checking out what CellaWeRRa is doing. Meanwhile, over here in Baker's base, gas went down about 2 or 3 seconds after CellaWeRRa's. And the gateway is going down as well, again, about 2 or 3 seconds before CellaWeRRa. So, a tiny bit behind. Let's actually look at the worker count. We can see Baker is 1 ahead on the workers, but I'm sure that CellaWeRRa will catch up to that in just a second as Baker's probe is trying to take down this pylon, but yeah, you're a probe. You can't kill a pylon. Well, you can if you're left alone, but I doubt CellaWeRRa is going to leave you alone to do just that. So gas is in full swing for CellaWeRRa. We can see he's running at 112, exactly where he needs to be. Baker is coming up to that as well, 18 to 16 now. And Cybernetics core is about halfway, 50% complete, thereabouts. Gateway going down in the back of CellaWeRRa's base, rally pointed directly beside this pylon. We can expect to see a Stalker come out and probably try to take out this probe in just a minute or two. Now it looks like he's going to go for a Zealot. I guess he's a little bit worried about that probe action. Meanwhile, over here we can see CellaWeRRa's probe is trying to do some harassment on the probes gathering gas. That's actually a pretty good move. If you can take out one of those probes, it's in the blue player doesn't notice it, it'll certainly hinder production just a little bit. And the gateway is finished, Cybernetics core is finished, and Stalker is on the way. Blue probe is now retreating down there, and CellaWeRRa is continuing to harass with this probe over in the base, now retreating it back towards his own. And once again, here comes the blue. So pretty much all the action so far has been probe on pylon, probe on probe, intense gaming action as Baker continues to scout. There is the Stalker driving away that probe. Probe, you don't belong in this base. You're not even on the right color. Go away. All right, now he's gone. Balance has been restored. Meanwhile, over here we can see that CellaWeRRa has sent his probe to capture the Xel'Naga watchtower in the north, and he's moving out with 1 Stalker and 1 Zealot. So very excited to see what happens as we're about 5 minutes into the game, and we're already looking at having our first offensive push from CellaWeRRa. He is one of the more exciting players to watch. I really like watching his live stream, especially when he makes these random funny comments. He'll just be like, yeah, and he'll just say these little one-liners that are absolutely hilarious. But you can see that he has sent his probe up here. Oh, probe! No, you are not meant for fighting. What are you doing? Okay, well, CellaWeRRa is going to try to drive back these Stalkers as we have more units coming over here. Another probe on the way. 2 more Stalkers. One of them has just engaged. And now CellaWeRRa is pushing up onto the top of the ramp with the Zealot, chasing around the Stalker who is kiting around very low. Why are my achievements disabled? Oh, well, I guess I can't get my achievement for recording games. That's okay, because there are probes coming off the mineral line trying to chase away this. Thank you for that. Trying to chase this Zealot away. Now this is pretty much just a game of kiting back and forth, tug of war, and I guess the rope just snapped as both of them are retreating down. CellaWeRRa is dropping a proxy pylon down in the natural of Baker's base. This will help him reinforce with Stalkers very quickly. Now we can see up here that blink technology is just now being researched by the Twilight Council, hidden at the very top of the base. CellaWeRRa is still trying to kill off these Stalkers. There goes one of the Stellars, now down to 2 Stalkers and 1 Zealot versus Baker's 4 Stalkers. Of course, a lot of them are actually very heavily damaged. You can see right here, that one's dead, this one's dead, and these two are about to join the dead party as he tries to micro it away, but just not fast enough. There goes one right there. CellaWeRRa decides to pursue it, knocking out that Stalker, and there goes one of Cella's, and now he's retreating back once more, probably going to try to reinforce it again with more Stalkers down here at the base of the ramp. Let's look at the other base real quick. Don't see anything really going on in terms of production, chrono boosting down the warp gates, trying to get some more units in here. We can see that Blink technology is about 2/3 the way done for Baker. That will certainly help him with the micro, as he will be able to easily blink away the hurt Stalkers during this engagement, as CellaWeRRa continues to keep the pressure on. This one is getting low. I'm not sure if it's going to live. I think it's going to die, maybe. Oh my god. Oh, he died just in time to have his achievements disabled. I don't know what's going on with Battle.net today. I guess it's just because of the patch 1.1.3 did hit the streets. Yes, thank you. You can quit that. I probably just need to turn that off. I don't even think I can. I have the toast notifications disabled. But whatever, Battle.net is just too cool to be disabled, as a pylon does go down here in the southern portion of the base. We can see for Cella, he is warping in his own Twilight Council. But Blink Tech is done, so I really have a feeling that Baker will be able to push off this attack and really get rid of this proxy pylon and force Cella to retreat back into this base, because Blink Stalkers versus non-Blink Stalkers, obviously the Blink Stalkers are going to win. That is exactly my point in case right here. The very low hit point Stalker was able to blink away, and now Baker is able to drive away Cella, who is now retreating back to his base across the map, and this poor pylon is still hanging out here, barely any shields left, but the pursuit continues as Baker chases Cella into his base, getting a blink, knocking off another Stalker. There are currently 3 in the base right now. We can see that nothing is being researched. This is probably just going to be the way it is for a minute, as Cella is probably going to invest just a ton of money into units to try to push away these Stalkers. We can see we really don't have too much in the way of reinforcements. Two more Stalkers are on the way, but here comes some probes off the mineral line, and some more Stalkers warping in to try to maybe get a flank, but the Stalkers were able to blink out of there, and Cella is able to send his probes back to work. They go and continue to chrono boost up more probes. So he's got a little bit of makeup work to do. We can see that we have a cyber or a robotics facility being built down here at the bottom of Blue's base, as he is taking out this proxy pylon. It's pretty much done its job so far, keeping Ed on his toes, and ultimately Ed was able to, at EtD, I'm going to call him something different every time, I swear. I keep seeing either Ed, DJ, or Baker. We'll just call him Baker. It's going to be a problem, but we're going to call him Baker. Dark Shrine is on the way for CellaWeRRa. This will definitely be an interesting tech switch, although I'm not sure if it's going to really catch the blue player off guard. Like I said, he has a robotics facility, so he is able to get out the Observer. There is one right there, looking like it's going to head up and rally towards where the Stalkers are. However, it's just a short distance up to the mineral line where we may see those DTs drop. I don't know what's going to happen. You can see there is a robotics facility is on the way for CellaWeRRa, so I'm very much expecting to see some kind of a drop here in the very near future with this combination of buildings being produced over here. We do have a scout coming in for Baker, heading up to the top of the ramp, going to scout out, see what is going on. I don't think he will be able to get very far, because there are more than enough angry Stalkers here to pick off that probe. Of course, this robotics facility is built way up in the northern part of CellaWeRRa's base. So I think he built it there exactly for that reason, to keep any sort of scouting not able to see that building. So we have a probe down here, might see an expansion, I don't know, maybe another proxy pylon. The probe is heading out right now, we'll just have to see what happens. Oh, it looks like he's doing a little bit of long distance gathering as he heads out to throw down a pylon, and very likely an expansion here. So we'll look over here, this expansion is just about complete. There it goes for Baker, so he is sitting pretty good right now. Nothing else coming from his robotics facility, but we see a warp prism is on the way for CellaWeRRa. 2 more gateways over here for Baker. Forge is complete, don't have any cannons down, no upgrades being researched, however. And now CellaWeRRa is sending over a warp prism with 3 Dark Templar heading back to the top of the base. I think he'll be able to do some damage with this. I'm not sure how much he will be able to, though. Like I said, there is an observer somewhere over here, right there in the base of the ramp. And here come 3 DTs into the mineral line. There goes 1 probe, 2, 3, right there. And now they are all going and trying to hide in the assimilator. Unfortunately, it can only hold 1 at a time, so the DTs are having their way with more and more probes. Unfortunately for CellaWeRRa, the Observer was able to come over here and end that attack rather quickly, but it definitely did do a considerable amount of damage. As you can see, there are no probes running on this gas right here, 1 probe right here, and yeah, let's actually look at the worker count for a second here. We can see 35 to 26. course, most of Baker's money is coming in from this expansion right here because he did transfer off quite a few probes, which was actually a really good idea. It actually really helped to mitigate the damage from that drop. But we might see another one. I don't know what's going to happen. We do have a Warp Prism once again hanging out around here. Not too sure what he's doing, but that's okay because he's CellaWeRRa and he is immensely awesome. So Nexus is just about complete for him. We can expect to see some probes transferring. There they go right there. Big old probe train, tons of them actually. Let's see, how many probes is that? That's a good number of them, about 20 or so. 18 to be exact. And oh god, cat, get out of the way. And looking over here, we have more assimilators being dropped, and the Observer was definitely had by Baker as he was able to kill CellaWeRRa's Observer Scout thingy. Yes, that is a very technical term. Robotic facility going down right here in CellaWeRRa's base, and another one is already up here still producing Colossi, and might see more than one right now. We just have one loading up a Zealot into the Warp Prism. Not too sure. We may see the Warp Prism be used as a proxy position with the Zealot just as an initial attack. I do not know, but we can see that Baker's Observer did spot that Warp Prism right there, so we can see the giant blue ball shifting back towards that portion of the map and several Stalkers being warped in. There goes the Zealot right there. CellaWeRRa not really opting to really pursue that attack as he realizes that he was spotted and just decides, you know what, that's it. I'm just gonna go with that. Maybe it was a scout even. That's more likely it was just a scout, but certainly any sort of further attack that would have been pushed by that was definitely not going to happen. Now we are seeing a ton of Stalkers here throughout the map, almost 24 of them. The proxy pylon kind of far away from the base. I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking it probably would work a little bit better if it was, say, right here, because he can warp in right here, blink over, or just run over and blink and keep attacking. But I don't know what's going to happen to CellaWeRRa, and it has now moved his Warp Prism out to die an explosive death. Parts fly everywhere as Baker's Observer gets ready to fly and get line of sight of the top of the cliff here, so he may be able to take out this pylon. Maybe he'll just blink up. I don't know. We'll have to see. He's using a couple of these Stalkers to attack the pylon, but he is maintaining the bulk of his forces just at the base of the ramp, waiting for more units to come over here and reinforce this position. Here comes the blink. Very good use of blink up there, skipping up 2 layers of cliff and coming up right past all of the Colossi. Now, unfortunately for the Blink Stalkers, the CellaWeRRa is forcing him to engage, forcing him to actually run away, as this one Stalker is, of course, left to fend for himself. Meanwhile, it was actually a pretty nice diversionary tactic to use these Stalkers to try to attack this Nexus. Unfortunately, didn't really work too well, as CellaWeRRa was able to react in time before these Stalkers were able to do any damage. Meanwhile, the Stalkers once again blinked back up here, trying to take out the gateway, but once again, CellaWeRRa driving away this attack. This time he is opting not to blink away. He's saving the blink cooldown, trying once again to get a flank on the attack. You can see how CellaWeRRa's forces are very much sandwiched here on the ramp, and the Blink Stalkers are kiting around the Zealots. This is certainly going to be an interesting battle. I'm not entirely sure who's going to win this. Of course, we don't see any additional units warping in for Baker, so that kind of, if CellaWeRRa is able to warp in some more units, he will be able to win this. You can see right now he has actually come out very well from the ramp fight, as these Blink Stalkers are trying to attack the rocks, do any damage that they can, when really at this point I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do much more. They're trying to hit the pylon, it looks like, just taking random shots at anything they can while running away from CellaWeRRa's forces. You can see that more Colossi are on the way, two on the way, 2 Stargates for Baker, as this expansion is still looking pretty good to see the Stargates going down right there at the natural. And again, we have more Stalkers right here trying to attack this force, and just, I mean, pretty much this entire game, or this entire last couple minutes, has just consisted of 2-pronged attacks, flanks, diversionary tactics, very good play from both players. Baker trying to keep CellaWeRRa on his toes, but CellaWeRRa, being the great player he is able to handle it and come out on top. So right now, it looks like the blue player is warping in more Zealots, and I'm not sure if he has the charge upgraded. Yes, he does have the charge upgrade. I probably could have saw that a second ago, but you can see there is more blue littered around here. There are a couple Stalkers here trying to take out the refinery and some of the probes. Not sure how well that's going to work, though, as it is a diversion to get the bulk of the blue's forces up here, trying to take out some of the Stalkers that were left behind. Once again, the blue player is having to retreat, though, because of the Colossi, able to take off those Zealots very easily, combined with the Stalkers here. And here comes the Blink Stalkers trying to take out the Colossus, barely living. Oh man, it gets away with 17 hit points. The Stalkers were just not able to do one more shot. That's what all it would have taken, is one more shot, and it would have been gone. Well, okay, 2. But If they were fully upgraded, it would have been one more shot. Anyways, we can see another expansion right here from Baker. And at this point, it looks like both players are just kind of sitting back a little bit, macroing up. Baker, of course, keeping an eye on what is going on with CellaWeRRa, with his observers, which unfortunately was shot down over CellaWeRRa's army. CellaWeRRa looking like he's going to move out, actually, taking his chances with what he has. 3 Colossus, actually very good position to move out right now, as Baker's forces consist of a good chunk of Zealots, which will dive very easily to the Colossi force, which are taking out the proxy pylon, so no more units will be able to warp in for Baker as he continues to run away. CellaWeRRa having a couple of his units chase ahead of the rest of his army, but once again, it looks like the blue is going to try to hold the line. Here's another big engagement. A couple Void Rays here hanging out, trying to take out the Stalkers. Colossi are having a field day with the Protoss units here. You can say a lot of them are at quite low hit points. CellaWeRRa is microing the Stalkers, taking out the Void Rays, effectively putting an end to any sort of aerial dominance. And we've also got some DTs from CellaWeRRa who helped mop up the attack, and there is the GG from Baker, concluding this 1v1 on Shakuras Plateau. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you later.